Welcome to event 8, the penultimate event of the MvM Strongman Classic. 3 long days of competition, just one more to go after this one. And Maggie, it's a good one. It's deadlift for reps, but deadlift with a slight difference.
Yeah, it's an axle deadlift, and it's got a different. The things that we use for this deadlift actually comes and are used by the trawlers that fish around Iceland. It connects to the net. Helps keep the net open so that they can catch the fish coming in.
Very, very cool. Properly used by the local people and used by large vessels, but this time it's going to be used by large men. So they look like globes to look at. And how much do they weigh in total?
This is 330 kilos.
Now we can also see that these guys are deadlifting off a box. So does that make it a deficit, or where would it sit on the shin?
It's pretty close to a normal deadlift. They're having them on pads just to save the concrete underneath here, and then we put them on a platform to stand up as well. You know, we want to make this hard.
So yesterday ended with farmers, grip. We began the day with arm over arm rope pull with a difference, grip, and now we're doing deadlift for reps, a bit more grip again.
Yeah, absolutely. Now this is actually, they got straps to use in this, but no figure eights, no super suits.
Oh, right. Oh,
only normal straps.
Now, for some people, the suits are the game changer. You can put someone like, say, Alexei Novikov, he can put almost 100 kilos on his deadlift with a suit, but no such luck today.
No helping aid except normal straps.
So we're going properly old school here, which basically is is what this whole event is all about for you. It's about real grip. It's about when it's overhead strength, they're not calibrated, they're natural stones when we press here. So this is a throwback to the proper strongman origin.
Absolutely. And after this, the final event will be the Giants log medley,
which you can actually see behind these guys as they compete. And the first athlete up is Sigus Froster, very much a veteran of strongman. As well as that, we've got Shaun from Australia by way of Ireland. Both similar statured men, both similar sizes. It'll be fascinating to find out who fares in this one, the battle of the S's. Sigus.
It's going to be really interesting. They got 60 seconds to complete as many reps as possible, or at least get the rep in.
Yes. For any of these guys, will it actually be a challenge to get a rep, do you think?
I'm pretty sure, because this is the 3rd day of competition.
Yes.
And, you know, deadlift usually you want to get out pretty soon in the contest.
And this is event 8.
Just to be extra mean, you know, we're putting it in the last day.
And if you do hear a bit of traffic, so where we're based is just in front of the Viking Village Hotel. They've kindly put us up here, and we've got amazing Viking structures around us. Everywhere you look, we've got a little bit of a crowd that have turned up. Our referees are ready and ready to go. The athletes are ready and ready to go, and as are we. Let's get it underway. 60 seconds, and straight away. So Sigus managing to grind out a slow but assured rep. For Shaun, on the other hand, he struggled there. That wasn't a rep that he was given there. He's now adjusting his straps. Now, interestingly, to Maggie's point, the guys are taking a breath between them because they are beaten up at this point.
See, the funny thing is, they put these straps on like they would hold with the figure 8 straps, instead of switching one hand over and one hand under and use the straps that way, then they won't slide.
You'd go over and under with an axle?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
With normal straps, you get a way better grip that way. But they're doing it the wrong way, even putting their thumb on top of it, which is totally wrong.
You can actually see the issue is the grip. If there was a close-up of Shaun's hands, as soon as he's pulling, the issue isn't the strength. The issue is his ability to get his hand round the massive axle bar. He's holding his forearm there. Hopefully hasn't caused too much damage. Shaun himself, this is his 3rd competition in 3 weekends.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's been taking its toll.
Right. So he's in Ireland's Strongest Man, run by Dave Warner. He was then in Big Z's event down south in England for the log special. He'll be doing log very shortly. Now, in terms of that, we're showing just how tired these men are. So Sigus, local Icelandic here, 1 rep for him, and unfortunately, it was a 0 rep for Shaun Gillen. Fingers crossed the men will continue to improve. Now, it is worth pointing out the temperature at the moment. Everyone here who's watching is watching in hats. We've got KFC on the go. We've got people who bought snacks. For anyone, you are an Icelandic, Maggie, what advice do you have to insulate yourself and stay warm in the cold?
Well, actually, you know, problem with us, the athletes, they are moving, they're warming up, they're doing things. We are standing here, The cold hits us more, and people just sitting watching, it hits them more.
What you're saying is we're the real heroes.
Exactly.
Now here we have Matt Riddle, and we also have Christian as well taking part. Iceland and Spain. Now Matt Riddle, who's called the Tenerife Viking, has embraced his entire experience here. His penultimate event, you saw him opening his hand to the gods. Last time he did that, he said he saw a raven perched on the roof afterwards. He really, really loves the Viking culture, and obviously Christian himself is an Icelander who actually gets coached by Sigus, who we saw competing on the same platform. I wonder what Sigus might have said to him, which is why you can hear so much cheering going on. Hopefully these men can each get a rep, especially for Matt. A big first pull will be important. My goodness, these bars are almost sticking to the floor. Big thing about Christian is he is holding a hamstring injury.
He felt that in his hamstring. He did not want to push that.
Yeah, he's still smiling, which means he hasn't re-hurt himself. He just knows he can't push it. And as for Matt here, it's a big weight.
Hey, 330 is a big weight in these conditions.
He's going to call it there. These men are...
big kudos to him. He stepped in. We had a last-minute cancellation because of somebody didn't get on his plane.
Yes.
And he was actually coming over here. He let me know before he could be a reserve. He would come in over here kind of with his wife, kind of like a honeymoon kind of thing, I don't know what. But he said, hey, if somebody drops out, I'll step in.
So basically, we've ruined the honeymoon, is what we're saying.
I think that depends on how you look at it.
Correct. Now look at this in terms of commitment. We've got two men. One is from Finland, who's used to the cold. The other man is from New Zealand and is currently representing the Maori community with his outfit and what he's wearing. He'll no doubt tell us all about it. He's an amazing character. Two very different statures here, but two men who'll want to get decent reps on this one, Maggie.
Well, Rango won the deadlift here last year, so let's see if he can keep that up.
Now, he has an arm injury coming into this. Hopefully it won't affect his deadlift too much. It certainly affected him with the arm over arm. Not that the result would have shown much. Now, as for Mika's got it to his knees. Can he pull it and lock it out? Yes, he can. For Rango, making it look like fairly light work by comparison. Can he be the first man to get 2 reps? Yes, he can. Now, he did drop that, but he was given the down signal, so that will be a good second rep. My goodness.
He's spending time re-wrapping.
How slippy will that bar feel, given that it's so cold, the metal, Maggie?
The thing is, we've kept these bars actually pretty rusty.
Okay.
So to give it a better grip. But, if you come up against this, you know what you're using. Normal strap, like I said, I would use double overhead. Switch the hands, then you're solid.
Rango will want this, he'll want this, he'll want this, he'll want the down signal. He got the down signal. Oh, he's going on again immediately, almost touch and go there. Can he lock it out in time? Oh, he's giving the down signal. Now that there was a man who simply wanted it. My goodness gracious. He was falling backwards, did not look to support and rebalance himself. He wanted the down signal more so than he wanted his own safety. Goodness gracious, look at the face on the man. That was so impressive, Maggie.
Oh, he put everything he had, and he needed everything he had.
4 reps, that was for Rango Keane, 1 rep for Mika Toro. And I mean, to have to re-wrap and essentially touch and go, and that was absolutely superb. That's what Strongman is all about. And I have to say, for the first time, I think I've noticed, is that a Bob Marley tattoo he's got there?
I don't know.
He's
got a lot of tattoos.
He's got a lot of tattoos. We'll speak to him about them later on. Unbelievable from Rango. He's now, he looks wired off the back of that, and rightfully so. And just to also mention that when you have skin to win, when you're topless in this weather, you're a different character, a different kettle of fish. Now, we're heading towards the business end of proceedings. I should have mentioned, so at the very top of the scoreboard, we have Tristan Hoth, who's on 58 points. Then we go into the 40s. We have 3 men, 1 on 49, 2 on 48. We've seen one man go, Rango Keane. He's put his marker out there with 4 reps. Another man set to do that will be Shane Flowers. Shane will want nothing less than a sublime performance here. He's getting his smelling salts in.
Shane is a strong deadlifter, we know that. So I'm really curious to see what he pulls out of his sleeve here.
Now we see Vilius, who's been fantastic, especially yesterday. Almost broke his own world record in the Husavell carry.
Vilius did the longest deadlift in history, I think, with a 325 last year, and it took him so long to get up and finish it, but he did get 1 rep with that. So he wants to do better this time.
Shivilikov many moons ago did a very similar thing. One of the longest reps I've seen. He was convulsing. Look at him, convulsing already. Now Shane looks smooth.
Oh yeah.
Metronomic.
Shane is making this look easy.
He really is making it look easy. More in the tank, hasn't had to re-wrap once. Now his right hand is, he's had to make an adjustment here. His right hand looked like it was kind of coming away from the wrap there.
It's going to be interesting to see if Vilius tries another wrap, but I think he's chosen not to try it.
Can Shane squeeze one more out? Based on the last efforts, the answer is that is yes. And the way the bar's pulled off the floor, now, unfortunately for Shane, that will not count as a rep. Whilst he stood up with it, it was before the down signal. I'm not sure if his strap actually snapped on that or if he simply lost grip.
Snapped.
Thankfully, what can happen in that is you can then obviously cause a potential tear. It did snap, you're absolutely right, man.
It shows you how much strenuous those straps need to take.
Absolutely right. Now, although you didn't get the last rep, he did get 6 good reps. So, and I think that's going to be some mark to beat, Maggie.
Oh, it's definitely a mark to beat. And it's going to be. This is already proven a tough event.
Yes, it really is. Now, it's going to be very interesting to see 2 men go here next. We've got Teddy, another local man from Iceland, a very tall man. He'll have a long pull. Possibly static strength isn't his forte. As for Par, if anyone's going to threaten that 6, it could well be Par.
Par is a good deadlifter. So if he pulls out something good out of his sleeve here, he'll get good results.
Yeah, get himself back in amongst this. Par got 3rd in the arm over arm. Getting another top 3 performance would put him back in contention.
Oh, Par make that look easy.
Oh, very fast. So unlike Shane, he seems to straighten his legs a little bit earlier and then pulls with the back. Different techniques, almost stiff leg deadlifting it after he straightens his legs.
He's really.
I think that was 5. I think that's for 6.
He's looking good. Let's have another one there.
Also, with the supports you've got here, Maggie, is that you don't allow a bounce on that. If that was concrete,
no, you can touch and go, but no bouncing.
And the nature of the support would mean that you wouldn't really get much of a bounce. It would just sort of compress.
Yeah.
We'll find out exactly how many reps that was. I think it might have matched Shane. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, he bettered him 7 reps for Par Dwyer. We said he could be quite good. He's proven that so far. And I tell you what, that snapped strap for Shane could cost him.
Yeah, definitely. Shane had that in him, definitely, but he was unlucky there.
Now, there is another man, in fact, 2 men here. If anyone's going to go to 8 on this, you wouldn't want to bet against either of these 2 men. I mean, Par, for me, was possibly one of the strongest deadlifters for reps coming into this. But there are 2 very strong candidates here in Pavlo Kordiaka and Tristan
hasn't been one of the good deadlifters. His deadlift is slightly down, but we'll see what he does.
Do you think because the weight's slightly lower than perhaps you might see in other shows where it's a one day, would that help him? Would it hinder him? How tired is he?
I think that height is pretty much on par with what they do at Giants Life.
Okay, so Tristan off. Not looking as fast as Shane or as Par, but squeezing the reps out. 3 for Tristan. Can Pavlo match him? Now such is the effort. Already Pavlo's nose is bleeding. I'm grateful he's the last person to go on that platform. I think he is anyway.
They're still fighting. There's no giving up here.
They are absolutely fighting. Pavlo giving everything of himself here. He's looking up to the referee to find out how much time there is left. Can Tristan squeeze one more out? He gets the down signal. Unbelievable effort there from both men. We'll get the confirmed result on that one. Could Par have his very first event win here in the MvM Strongman Classic? That would be superb if you manage that. Now,
well, you know, he's going to be so started with that, we can't even talk to him for a couple of days.
So, Pavlo wins the very first event. 1 rep separating first and second to Shane Flowers, who was in second, Tristan, who was in third with 5 reps, and then Rango with 4, and Pavlo with 3. He battled them all out, and a number of men. Vilius Yakusis managing 1 rep. He was a person who was inside the top 4 coming into this, so will have lost a number of points there. So for Rango, getting those reps, squeezing them out as he did, has potentially kept his potential. I'm trying to read and do some maths at the same time
still up there.
He's very much up there. So our top 3, Tristan has had his lead encroached, but only by 1 point. He leads the field by an impressive 8 points, followed by Shane Flowers, who's on 70. 2 points behind him, Rango Keen with 68, and then 4 points behind him is Vilius Yakusis. So with 2 events left to go, no, excuse me, 1 event left to go.
1 event.
We're down to the final event, the championship event. So Tristan is going to need an incredibly poor performance in order to let his first ever Magnusson Strongman Classic title slip from beneath his fingers.
Oh, he's looking good. He's looking good he's sitting good. He doesn't even have to win the last event, and that's always a good position to be at.
But he will need to rep, and he will be the last person to go, so he'll know the reps required. But he has to get those reps still.
Oh, he has to get those. You know, these logs are actually, there's a 120 kilo. That's the Jacobo log, Jim Jacobo log. Then we got the Richard Looney log.
Nice.
So which is now 120 kilos. We got the Magnus log, which is 150 kilos. And we got the big log, that's the John Paul Sigmarsson log,
Nice.
165 kilos.
Yes.
Richard Looney made these logs, Richard Looney out of Ireland. He made these logs for my first Magnus Classic.
They are absolutely beautiful.
And it started off, he wanted to do a tribute to John Paul Sigmarsson. And you know, it was close to his heart. And you know, we're really grateful for what he's tributed here. And these logs are just a piece of art.
They are, but they're also befitting of Viking. They look like no other logs I've seen.
Yeah, they got runes on, they got all sorts of things on, and like a story, but I don't know how to read that story. but no, the 165 is actually the world record at some point that John Paul Sigmarsson had.
Right.
That was I think that was his heaviest log, was 165 kilos. So that's why Richard Looney made it 165 kilos. Brilliant. Now, mind you, we've had to add a little weights to it because it dried out a little bit. Okay. So we had to put some weights on just to keep it in that weight. So the Magnus log was originally 150 kilos. So we had to add a little weight just to keep that weight there still.
It's a superb tribute to him and to yourself as well. I think it's worth reminding ourselves, though, that when we hear 165, there are a number of strongmen who might be watching this who'd think only 165. But A, these guys were not full-time strongmen. B, these logs, unlike this one, was not calibrated. They weren't balanced.
Yeah, no, they were not. And the thing is, last year, if I remember right, 2 athletes finished all 4 logs.
Right, okay.
I'm expecting more to do it now, but the first year I think 4 did it. So.
But at this point, the issue isn't really so much the weight, but it's the fatigue. The men, the 9th event in 3 days, battling the cold, a lot of travel. It's been a wonderful experience, but they've put their bodies through the mill.
Oh yeah, and one thing with these logs, if you notice, they'll get bigger and bigger, like wider and wider.
Yes.
So every time that happens, the clean gets harder.
Right. Would you change your hand position if that is the case?
No, not really. But you gotta every time that the cleans gets harder, it's taking more out of your energy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Plus, after you cleaned it, you got it to your chest. Because of the size of it, it actually wants to keep rolling.
And these logs are kept in your gym, in Jakobol gym?
Yeah, like I said, this is a piece of art. I couldn't just store them somewhere. I actually got ratchets and they're hanging out of the ceiling at the gym.
They look gorgeous. I saw Sigus actually having a go on them, I think a couple of weeks ago. He came down and had a bit of a practice.
Yeah.
And he, has to be said, looked very solid on them. Do you think Sigus could do potentially well here? He's got a PB of, I think it's 207, I think his best log, at his best before the shoulder operations.
Well, Sigus is a good presser, or has been a good presser. So is Christian Sindri. He's a phenomenal presser.
Okay.
Christian Sindri actually was the first man, Icelander, first actually, to lift the John Paul Sigmarsson log.
Wow, what an honor.
When I first brought it here, because it got here a little bit earlier than some of the others, I had it on the strongest man in Iceland, and he was the first man to lift it.
So, I mean, he's not a heavy man. He's probably...
Oh, he's heavier than you would think.
Is he really?
Yeah.
We'll have to ask him, because he's probably around the 5'9" mark maybe in height, or if you're watching in Europe, 175 maybe. But yeah, man, that is impressive. 165. And then what this will do is this will obviously have a massive determination as to who encroaches on the lead. It's going to take some to catch the Canadian Tristan. And then as for the others, could Rango Keane do the unthinkable? Could Shane Flowers do the unthinkable? Now, Shane...
He absolutely can.
Now he's in the back. He's looking at his phone, which means he's looking at...
You need to get some of these guys over here now.
Absolutely, let's do that. Now, Shane's currently looking at his phone, which I'm guessing means he's possibly looking at what reps he will need to potentially challenge for the title. Now, Shane, 6 reps in that, it's so close to that 7th, a snap strap.
Yeah.
Was that because you were kind of off-centre at all?
Yeah, obviously the axle that we were using, there was no guidance, there was no kind of knurling mark, so I was slightly off-centre, but with this weight it was still manageable for me. So the plan was do 6 reps, rest, reset, retighten the straps, and then I was hoping for another 2, possibly 3 more reps. I think if I'd actually just carried on after the 6th rep, it probably would have been 7 or 8, but you know, you can't account for those things. That's just one of those things that happens. So it wouldn't have mattered in the grand scheme of things. Even if I won that event, I think I'd still only gain 1 extra point. So Tristan's still, I think he's too far ahead of me now.
Well, I think he's 8 points ahead. So,
Yeah.
so you gained on him by 1 point,
Yeah.
which means to 12 athletes, there are 12 points available.
Yeah.
Stranger things have happened. It
Yeah.
will take a bad performance from him, but that said, you can only control yourself. What are you looking to do today in this event?
In the log,
Exactly.
fast 3, take my time with the 4th. I think if anyone gets the 4th, it's going to be really good points. And then just get myself on the podium again, really now. You know, I could get the top spot. I don't want to wish Tristan any bad luck at all. He's a great guy and he's a great athlete. So, yeah, we'll just see how it pans out. But I think second place is pretty much there for the taking now.
And on a scale of 1 to knackered, how are you feeling?
Do you know what? It's not actually. I think physically I'm all right.
Yeah.
My social battery's draining now, big time. Yeah, I live in the middle of nowhere. I live in the sticks, and I probably socialise about an hour a week, maybe max. So, yeah, I need to go back and hibernate after this for a couple of weeks.
There's something to be said for that, though. Is when we came out of COVID, you suddenly were socialising with people, and you went, "This is actually quite hard work."
Yeah, definitely. It's been enjoyable, but like. If the fans don't know, we've been driving all around Iceland for the last couple of days, and I've been wedged in between Pa on one side, Rango on the other, and it's been entertaining, let's say that. It's been entertaining.
Pa's always struggled in social circles, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's not really a social butterfly, he's quite an introvert, so, yeah.
Now, if you fancy a laugh, watch our interview I did with him back and just have a look at what was in his pocket, perhaps, during the arm-over-arm pull. Pa, can you describe Pa in 1 word? Is it possible?
Unique.
Oh, good words. Good word, mate. Thank you for your time. We'll let you get focused to this next event. It's the log taking place very, very shortly. We're not sure exactly when it's going to kick off. We are just moments away from it happening. We've got a crowd who are gathered here. They're ready and raring to go themselves. In fact, I'm just going to turn the camera here so you guys can have a look at what's been going on. The guys some locals have turned up here. Some friends and family, especially of the Icelanders, have arrived here. And it's been just an amazing atmosphere the entire time. The guys here are absolutely pumped. Monica, why don't you come and have a chat? Monica says, here. So Monica, this is your first, I imagine, strongman event in Iceland.
In Iceland, yes.
You've been crucial to the organisation. How has it gone from your end?
I think it's gone awesome, smoothly. A couple hiccups on the logistical organization side, but it's all behind the scenes. The guys are doing fantastic, getting well taken care of by everybody here. It's awesome to see, and it's so much fun to watch and be here.
And for those, the kind of discerning viewer will know that you're possibly not a local. Whereabouts are you from?
I'm from the U.S., just outside Chicago.
And how cold is it there compared to here?
It's about the same at the moment. Slightly warmer back home right now, but this is kind of our normal winter as well, so totally not out of my normal.
And final question is, in a year's time, how is this potential tournament going to get bigger and better?
I think we're just going to see bigger event, hopefully bring in some more sponsors as well on board. I know the goal is to obviously grow prize money every year, get in more athletes each time as well. The goal every year, bigger, better, adding more to it. And I think given a whole other year to make that happen, my brain's already spinning for things we can start doing.
Nice, so it's exciting times.
Absolutely, absolutely exciting.
So if you are a potential strongman and you want to get involved, get in touch with Maggie and get in touch with Monica. Thank you very much for your time, Monica. It's been awesome so far. The camaraderie has been absolutely off the charts. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn the camera around here so you can see what's happening behind the camera. We've got a number of the guys warming up. We've got Big Pa here. I'm just going to be a cameraman as well. So there we have Big Pa in the house. He's here, loving life. Pa, should we have a chat? Pa, can't... Oh.
Yeah, let's have a quick chat. I'm not worried about that.
How are you, mate?
Stop, why are you laughing at me?
I don't know.
Is there something on my face?
Can you smell anything?
I can smell cheese.
Wait, do you think you'll ever get over your nerves?
No, I'm actually quite shy, very nervous right now. But my vision is 2020 at the minute, so I'm looking forward to log.
It's in terms of yourself with the log, obviously it's a very hard wood. Is that something that you're used to?
Like I'm often have to deal with hardwood in my face, and when that log is kind of up in your face, you just have to get over it. It's last event, 9th event, and hopefully I can stick it in and finish it off.
This is surreal, mate. It's surreal. And with yourself, is it 4 reps today?
I'll pump out as many as I can.
One of a kind. One of a kind. Pavlo's right. I'll tell you what, when he gets over his shyness, he'll be lethal, that man. What a guy he is. What a man. Right, we're going to find out how long we've got. How long do we think we've got until we kick off with the log? No idea yet. Well, the answer is no idea. It's kind of what's been said. We're going to get it from the word. Maggie's going to have the answers, and then we're going to get the log underway. We're going to take a look. Maggie, how long do we think before the log gets underway? Maggie's going to go and speak to the athletes and then find out, because obviously of paramount importance to us is the health and safety of the athletes. We want to make sure they're fully warmed and fully ready and ready to go, especially given how cold it is here. Thankfully there's no wind. If it was, it'd be brutally cold. What you can see, however, is the water just on the other side of this van here. So as soon as we kind of get from out of the exposure, the wind factor just takes the temperature right down here. And standing and watching this, it really is, you're battling the elements. You can see people here being sat on the rocks. As soon as you do that, your body temperature just sinks immediately. Now, we've been told that we're going to take a slight pause, are we? We're going to take a slight pause here, let the athletes warm up, and then in a few minutes we'll get the log underway. So don't move a muscle, get yourself a tea, get yourself a coffee, and I reckon in about 5 minutes time we'll be back live, ready and ready to go for the final event of the MvM Strongman Classic. Welcome back to Iceland and to Reykjavik for the final event of the MvM Strongman Classic. 9 long events have resulted in this, the log press medley. Maggie, it's the big one. It's all for Tristan to lose at this point, but still, strange things have happened.
It ain't over until the fat lady sings, some people say. But no, anything can happen. If you tweak something on the first lift,
Great point.
things can go wrong. So it ain't over until it's over. But he's looking good though.
He is looking very, very good. Well, we're going to be starting with the person, if you like, with the least chance of winning, and that currently is Matt Riddle, who's had a monumental performance, came in last minute, courtesy of an immigration issue, has come in here, no questions asked, and has given it absolutely everything of himself. He's a Tenerife Viking. Let's get his proceedings underway, his 9th event here in the Magnusson Strongman Classic. And as he begins, Maggie, can you just remind us of the weights on these logs?
It's 120, 130, 150, 165.
And the final log, the Jean-Paul Sigmarsson log, is a big log. It's a thick log.
It's a big log. The Magnus log is almost as big.
I wonder why. Here he goes. Oh, strict pressed it. Strict pressed it.
He didn't wait for the signal.
He got it that time. You have to wait for the down signal. Such is the strictness of the refereeing here, even if it's the last event.
Yeah, he doesn't want to give anything away, does he?
Will he start to use his legs in this one?
130. Nice.
Good log. Get some air into those lungs, Matt. Finish strong.
Here comes the Magnus log.
He wants the Maggie log. He wants the Maggie log.
150.
This will be a big log for Matt. One of his strongest events. Go on, Matt. Now, it's very hard to put out of his head the fact that he had to hit the first log twice, essentially.
Yeah, it can burn a little bit of your energy. Again, competitors have 60 seconds to complete the task or get as many as possible.
He's going to call it there.
He's got a bad word, but...
And that word was, my goodness.
Yeah.
That was heavy. He will be a little bit frustrated with that, not getting the down signal. He will be frustrated, but he should take a lot of pride in the fact that he's turned up here with about 24 hours notice. You mentioned before, obviously he was coming here anyway, but just to support. He threw his competition kit in his bag, and off he came with his wife, and here he is, and he can say he's completed the MvM Strongman Classic and managing to complete 2 logs on the final effort and managing to do so in just over 30 seconds. So if it comes down to the same number of logs, it will then come down to time.
Yes.
Now, Christian, you mentioned, was the first man to lift the Jean-Paul Sigmarsson log. Will he be able to do all 4 today?
I'm expecting him to. It all depends on, he has a little tweak in his shoulder, his pec, and that hamstring. Is that going to play a factor? Because it definitely did on the deadlift.
Now, interestingly, he's essentially set up these logs here. Isn't he's got them at the exact angle he wants them at, and he's got them leaning forward. That is somebody who's meticulous.
He's doing his preparations.
This does not look like a man who's worried about the tweak in his chest and shoulder. First one, smooth, clean, nice lockout. That looked comfortable. And it landed on the support mats. If it doesn't, they have to ensure that it actually does. Not using much leg drive at all. Fantastic lifting, very, very efficient.
He does that. He is good with the logs.
Oh, go on, Christian. 3 for 3. Get the air in. He wants to know. He wants to hear from the crowd. Now, he's based on the speed of the last clean. He's really going to have to whip this one with his hips.
If you noticed how the clean got harder, that log's bigger now. That one's even bigger. So
big clean requires here.
He needs to clean it
Big clean.
nicely. No,
No,
he's not feeling it.
he gave it his all.
There's a lot of difference lifting these in a medley or when you just go for a max. There's
Right.
so much difference.
He's worked very, very hard. Now his boyfriend Liam's here. We're going to look to see if Liam is smiling or grimacing, because Liam is a hard taskmaster, but he has achieved 3 logs in 27.22 seconds. Currently the leader, thank you Keely, after 2 athletes. Now, we mentioned earlier on that Keely is providing us with the scores, but he's also a strongman in his own right, Keely is, Maggie.
Oh yeah, Kelly is a great powerlifter and strongman. He's been recovering from a bicep tear. He's been taking his time, not rushing it, been really careful. He started to lift Atlas stones now, and so he's gaining his confidence back with it.
The best rehab for a torn bicep is Atlas stones. It's a well-known rehab tool. Now we have
Atlas stones, they do take a lot in your biceps, and if you're working your biceps, you work your way slowly up with that. I got Atlas stones all the way down to 20 kilos, so you can.
Do you?
Yeah, you can work your ways up.
Even I can do that.
Yeah, exactly. But I got in the gym, I got rubber stones.
Nice.
So they're made out of rubber. They are not allowed to use tacky, so it actually teaches them to really squeeze the stone and be better at it instead of relying on that tacky.
Now, for a man, when you talk about wingspan that you don't necessarily have, we have Teddy. Now, he was in his warm-up, he was doing 90 kilos.
He needs to bring it higher on his chest before
Go on!
See how it slides down when he's trying to clean it? You can't clean it like that. You gotta hold it on top of the stomach almost. Pull it in there.
Now, he's such a tall man, though, that the log really does have to travel a long, long way. He would love to get 1 rep. Probably the last being, yes! Go on, Teddy. Got it up to his chest. Can he press it? Can he lock it? Go!
That was tough.
He was so close on that one. He can take a lot of confidence from the fact that he cleaned that well, and he's cleaned it 2 for 2. Can he lock it in time? Get in there. Go on, Teddy.
Oh, he got it.
Well, he got it. He shakes his head. 4 efforts. He managed. I'm going to argue that maybe the actual first 2 cleans would have been harder, even though they were failed, because the amount of exertion he's putting on his biceps.
Oh, yeah. He finally got it in the right position for the clean.
So he managed that first log in, just under a minute. That was 60 seconds of grimacing, 60 seconds of effort. Superb way to finish, if it's not necessarily as he would have liked to. Now for Big Shaun here, he looks like a man who's built for pressing. He's wide, he's thick, and we know he's a very strong man. Could he challenge for all 4?
Yeah, I think he can. Now again, this is his 3rd competition weekend in a row, and I people can do that. I used to do that all the time, but it does take its toll, and sometimes if I did something like that, I really kind of tried to save energy. And in my last comp, like just not doing too many deadlifts, so just doing big jump and take a chance, and it usually paid off.
Okay. Yes. Well, one thing all these guys are looking forward to doing this evening is heading to the Sky Lagoon. So regardless, win or 0, these guys, myself included, are going to be chilling. Are you coming, Maggie?
No, I don't have time for that. I got to clean up after this.
Yeah. He'll be there.
With the crew, not just leave it to the crew,
Yeah, correct. You're good. Oh, he just Viper pressed that one. Oh, again, Viper.
Looking good.
That was filthy. That was absolutely filthy from Shaun. Okay, he's paused on his chest this time. Here he goes. Nothing. That's so within him. Wow. That is so within him.
Wow. I'll be surprised if he doesn't get that last one.
So stable. So strong. So much power off the floor. Can he be the first person today to get all 4 logs? It's a harder clean, but it's to his shoulders. Can he? He's locked it. He's used his tricep strength.
Yep.
He gets the down signal. Go on, Big Shaun.
Good job.
What a way to finish his competition. 3 competitions in 3 weekends and 3 days of competition now, Maggie. That was a great effort.
I don't know. I don't know where he gets all of this energy.
49 seconds he managed those 4 logs in. He had time to spare. So that's 12 seconds a log.
Yeah.
To be fair, that's going to take some beating.
I think it will. Don't forget, we got some great log pressers coming.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I think looking at Shane Flowers here, he's looking like a mean man. A lot of these guys are skulking around, getting themselves properly in the zone here.
Pavlo is a great log lifter
Yes,
as well.
he is, yeah.
Really technical.
But the interesting thing for him is he does the squat jerk. So when you're fatigued, will you have that stability and that core strength?
That's always the question.
And you've made it even harder, Maggie, because it's not just a down signal, it has to fall back on the supports.
Yeah.
So if he runs forward to catch it, he has to walk back before he dumps it.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see how the varying techniques happen to unfurl and unfold. Now we're just waiting for the next athlete to go. Looking around here, it might be Sigus, who Pa likes to call Seamus. Which I have to say is such a good name. I think it is Sigus who's going next. He's getting his sleeves on, his Cerberus sleeves no less.
He's gotten to that age, you know, he's over 40. He takes his time getting ready, makes people wait, you know.
But he drives like nobody's business. He's driven us around for hours on end, not tired in the slightest. What a guy he is. We absolutely love Sigus.
Well, the thing is, actually, in these kind of, when you have these vans or buses or whatever, the best seat is the driver's seat. If you think about it.
Yeah. He's got the best seat then. Yeah. Although we don't envy him. It's been quite interesting terrain. Obviously for yourself it's the norm, but for us, I mean, some of the roads, I mean, it's dark, they're undulating, but he's managed them like a proper.
Yeah, you come over a hill, you don't know what to expect on the other side.
Right. Yeah. Black ice on the roads. Thankfully, the weather, it has affected Iceland in terms of, a lot of people have been asking about the earthquakes and things. Touch wood so far, everything's been absolutely fine.
We've definitely felt them over here, but not that as bad as people over there. That's like, you know, roads have been going apart and really tough time.
Wow, that was a long hole that the referee waited for then. Sigus was looking across at the referee. There's been absolutely no quarter given in any technical department. Things have to be perfect here in the MvM Strongman Classic. Can he press this one out? Now, a 2:07 log presser at his best. That, however, wasn't after 8 events, and that wasn't after 2 shoulder operations.
150.
Let's go Sigus.
He should do this. You know, he did a great big log this summer, about 165 kilos, 170 kilos.
Notice his hand position there and how much the log is leaning back. Now, here comes the issue. So he's got it, but he's going to have to walk back. Look at that strength! Go on, Sigus! Go on, Sigus! Look at that cheeky face there at the end! Oh, that was pure Viking power! Go on, Sigus! What an absolute legend! Now, for clarity, you cannot dump the log anywhere other than the supports, mainly because we don't want to damage the floor here.
Well, mainly I don't want them damaging the logs.
Sorry, let me rephrase
These
that.
logs are a piece of art. You know, you don't want them damaging them.
That man right there is a gangster. 57 seconds he managed that one. Held it above his head, walked it out, walked it back, and had a conversation with our ref. That was superb. What a man. What a man. This is super. Up next, another big man, Mika Toro from Finland. He's brought his girlfriend here. She's been on the bus with us, and I can only apologise for the farting and the belching she's had to put up with. And that's just been Para Dwyer. So he made the first rep look fairly straightforward. Go on, Mika. Managed to lock it out. This next log will be a challenge, especially with the lockout based on that last one.
Yeah, that one didn't look too easy, so this is going to be a challenge for him.
Really wants to use his legs.
150 kilos.
The clean, not the issue. The clean is not the issue. He's a big, big man. Now, one of the issues, Maggie, sometimes when you're as big as Mika is the shoulder mobility, being able to get your shoulders really underneath it.
Actually, after you clean it, you got to put your elbows kind of in
Excuse me,
front of
elbows,
it.
yes. He's telling everyone he's okay. Unfortunately, the house wasn't quite so okay.
Yeah.
Well done, Mika.
I've heard him say some bad words, but this one sounded good.
Yeah, yeah, sounded like Shakespeare. And there's been camaraderie from all the guys, supporting all the athletes, congratulating them, getting across the line here. So managing, to be fair, the first 2 logs he managed in just over 17 seconds. So that puts him mid-pack, we'll say. So 3 athletes above him, 2 athletes below him as things stand. Now we're heading to the business end of the competition for Paro Dwyer, an opportunity to get on the podium. He's probably going to need 3 logs to be on the podium. Very nice. Squat jerk there. The weight, not the issue.
No, that was good, nice technique from on that one.
Paro is solid, looking at the referee to get the down signal, because sometimes these down signals are taking a while until our ref is 100% happy with a full lockout and getting the log under control. Par taking his time here, sucking oxygen into those lungs. Nice clean. Good from Par. That was an important lift. That was an important lift. Here. Go on, Par. Big lift. Not that long left. Now, that might be the same knee, or the VMO rather, that he dropped the natural stone on day 1, which feels like it was last week. But it was only about 36 hours ago, I think. 40 hours ago? Whatever it was.
2 days ago.
2 days ago. So Par managing 3 logs in 37.17. Now, that is slower than Christian managed the 3 logs, but faster than Sigus managed. So that currently putting Par into 3rd position. The only person so far getting all 4 logs being Shaun from Australia, followed then by Christian with 3 logs at 27 seconds, and then Par completing the podium on this event so far at 37.15. Now, there are a couple of men who'll be keeping a close eye on that one, and that's specifically Rango, Shaun and Tristan. Now for Tristan, anything more 2 logs pretty much confirms his title for this year's championship. But for Rango and Shaun, this could be crucial, a good performance here. Thank you very much.
I think Tristan will want to do them all.
I agree.
It's a pride thing.
Yes. End with class. Now, how well will Pavlo manage to watch this man squat jerk? Oh, Viper, possibly the best Viper we've seen, even better than maybe Shaun's there. So fast. Okay, this one not the case. Interesting. Now he went for the squat jerk there. He's so technically beautiful.
Yeah, he's so technical with it.
Very nice. Very nice. Now, unlike, say, with Olympic lifting, the squat jerk is much, much harder with a log. And look at how wide that is for him. Ooh.
He just missed it. He can do it.
The issue is the power does go quickly, more so than strength. It's been a long 8 events. This is the 9th, and
he got it.
He is.
The funny thing is, in the warm-ups, he went and did that in the warm-ups, that log, just to get a feel for it.
Yes. It's been a hard 9 events. I can't quite work out if he's happy or not, but I think he'll take it. The second man to get 4 logs, and doing so in. Wow! Even though he had a second attempt on that final log, he did it quicker than Shaun. That puts him into the lead by 3 seconds. Such was his efficiency going into that. Yeah. Thank you, Killy. My goodness.
He's really set a mark here.
That was absolutely incredible. It's the only other person I can think of who really does anything like that is actually Rob Kearney. Rob Kearney does the split jerk by getting underneath, but the timing has to be so good on it. The other person who does it is this man coming up here. Now, Vilius just said to the referee, hold on a second. Reason being, he's going to take some smelling salts. and he just took a
This guy,
real...
he gets so intense.
Now, he was also coaching Teddy earlier on. Oh, at 118 kilos.
He's like Pavlo, he's really technical.
Such a naturally strong man. I mean, if he went to under 105, I think he'd clean up.
He might. He's so technical with things.
Superb clean. One leg slightly forwards.
Just lost his balance there, trying to get himself into the right area to push that.
He will really want this log. He will absolutely want the 3 logs. Oh, not quite getting underneath it. He's going to call it there. He's a little bit disappointed. I think he's got a slight limp after that. I hope he is okay.
He was disappointed with himself on that one. But it's just like the balance, it just threw him off balance. And it's so hard to recover that after that. But we saw Pavlo recover fantastically.
I mean, for context, those first 2 logs were completed in 14 seconds.
Yeah.
So unbelievably quick. And I think he definitely had more in the tank that I think he had the potential to lift the 4th log, but it just wasn't to be today, especially given, thank you very much, Killy. I guess as well, maybe the central nervous system gets affected more when you are a smaller man over the course of a number of events. Perhaps. But for Rango Keane, what doesn't get affected is whether or not you go topless. Now, interestingly, if you watched Vilius before he competed, he was intense. Rango right now, almost looking like Big Z, just taking slow, assured breaths, getting himself almost spiritually prepared for this one. He knows he needs a very good performance.
It's like the still before the storm.
Absolutely right. Now, he needs to better Shane Flowers by 2 positions in order to better him overall on countback. Now that there wasn't the cleanest I've ever seen on the lockout. He's going to want more leg drive here. He's been given the down signal. This 3rd log is a big one for him. He's going to need this log to be able to better Shane Flowers. He's been given the down signal. Can he get the 4th log? Can he get?
He's going for it. He did it last year.
He didn't even hesitate. The John Paul log for glory. The John Paul log for glory. My goodness.
He was leaning so much back, and I thought he was going to fall backwards. But he managed to correct himself and get it and hold it and get the down signal.
What was frightening was the Jean Paul Sigmarsson log looked easier than his first log.
Kind of. I was not expecting that, actually.
So Rango, okay, let me just draw breath here, because he managed that in 41.53 seconds. That's moved Rango into the lead, and now for total jeopardy, let's assume that Tristan completes 2 logs, he wins, but who will be second? It will all come down to Shane Flowers. Shane, if he lifts the 4th log, and that's an if, in less than 42 seconds, and somebody can get, and Tristan can get between him and Rango, wow, it's on. So this is not over.
Shane needs a good score here.
And now he knows he needs a fast one.
Come on, Shane!
Now Shane is fast at this, but he can't be too fast, he can't be hasty. The lockout was frightening, the tricep strength, undoubted. Now very efficient so far, given the down signal. Okay, this 3rd one, how fast can he be here? A slightly bigger, it's the Maggie log, it's slightly bigger. He's been given...
He's looking good so far.
Slightly faster than Rango, I think.
I see him slightly having problem with the balance, but
nice clean,
big one.
Nice clean, having to get his balance back, looking slightly shaky here. Can he get the lock? There's a lock. Wow, that has just put the cat amongst the pigeons, and that's if he gets this now. He's still calm, he's still focused. It is in the tank. It is there. Strong clean, he's leaning quite far back. He's calling it there, looks like slight tightness in the shoulder. Now, I cannot wait to find out what that does to the scores. Now, you'll have to forgive us as we look at the scores because it won't give us the overall yet. We'll be looking purely at the times, and then from that I'll try and deduce what the potential outcome of that could be. So we have 1, 2, 3 men who've hit 4 logs. Shane has hit 3 in 24 seconds. That was faster than Sigus managed, faster than Tristan managed. So he's the fastest of the 3 loggers, which I think means that he's currently 4th overall. Rango is leading, which means there's 3 points between them. I think, if my Carol Vorderman math doesn't fail me, that puts Rango into 2nd place. And in fact, Rango and Shane are currently speaking to each other and trying to work out the scores themselves. Now, I'm just going to let them know, I think, I don't even know whether I should even tell them. Now, Shaun looks like he knows his maths. We're about to find out exactly that. So, Tristan, this is about the champion here. It's looking like Tristan is the champion if he can complete 2 logs. But as Maggie says, he'll want to finish in style. He'll want 4 logs. That looks comfortable. Slight balance with the lockout. This is
problem there, but
what a way to finish the MvM Magnusson Strongman Classic.
that's one better.
Done with 4 logs. Here comes the MvM Magnusson log. It's a bigger log. It's a thicker log. Can he get this one? Can he get this one? He has just confirmed his championship.
He had to work for that one.
He had to work.
Does he have energy for that last one?
Can he
That's another
finish?
15 kilos.
Larry, his gym partner, will be watching. He's opened a brand new gym in Alberta. He's going to call it quits there, but it ultimately doesn't matter because before it's been confirmed, I think we have a new champion. I'll hold fire on saying it until it is 100% official. A touch of class from Shane Flowers, the first man to congratulate the man from Canada for his first ever MvM Magnusson Strongman Classic title. Killy's the man with the scores on the doors. He's walking over to us as we speak. In fact, he's getting a 100% confirmation here because we don't want to call this one wrong. And just behind us, all the strongmen embracing each other and congratulating each other on a fantastic 3 days of action. It hasn't just been 9 events, 9 brutal events. It's been the travel in between, it's been the waiting, it's been the managing of the conditions, and it's also been the camaraderie. It's been awesome being on the buses, traveling with the guys. It's been a real treat. Maggie, just before we do get the official results, how proud have you been of all these guys here?
Well, I couldn't have asked for a better bunch of guys. They're all great, all camaraderie. There's no bad blood. They support each other, and this is what Strongman's all supposed to be about.
And just a word for your team behind the scenes as well that have done such a good job.
Well, everybody that comes and makes things like this happen, you know, I'm so thankful for all their help, all the assistance, thankful for our sponsors that help us make this happen. You know, hopefully we pull bigger sponsors, make it bigger and better, even next year, because we've bettered every year, and I'm planning on next year even better.
What would be your dream for this event? If in 20 years' time, when you're looking even younger than you are now, what would be the absolute unbelievable goal?
Well, that somebody keeps it going after my day.
Okay, the legacy continues. Very, very nice. Which is exactly, I suppose, in some respects, what you're doing for John Paul Sigerson by things like having a log that's named after the great man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, well, we're going to wait. Now, this is the slowest Killy's been. Such is his meticulous nature. He wants it to be 100% accurate.
He doesn't want to make any mistakes.
He's not made a single mistake so far. He's an S&C coach who laughs in the face of mistakes. So, we have our official winner, but we'll go from 12th,
Go for 12th.
absolutely, up to then first. So, we have Matt Riddle from Spain in 12th position with 20 points. In 11th position with Teddy Theodore Gudmundsson in 11th place with 35 points. His compatriot in 10th place, Christian Nielsen with 40 points In 9th place, Shaun from Australia with 51 points. In 8th place, from Finland, Mika Toro with 53 points. He shares that on points, but is bettered on countback by Iceland's Sigus with 53 points, who's in 7th place. In 6th place from Ireland, the shy retiring Pavlo with 60 points.
It's not countback, it's last event rules.
Thank you very much. So just for clarity, because Killy is all about meticulousness, when I say countback, the countback rules by nature here are that its last event is what counts, if you like. So we haven't officially had to go to countback. In 5th place, Pavlo from Ukraine, 67 points, bettered by 1 point by Lithuania's Vilius in 4th place with 68 points. Then the business end. Only 1 point separated 3rd and 2nd. In 3rd place from England, Shane Flowers with 79 points. In 2nd place from New Zealand, Rango with 80 points. And our Magnusson Strongman Classic winner of 2023 is none other than Tristan. What an incredible performance it has been from him. After day 1, he was in the mix. After day 2, he took the lead. And after day 3, he absolutely cemented it. We're now just waiting for the trophies to be given out for these guys here. And it's safe to say they have had a monumental performance. The crowd's beginning to disperse here because they've seen everything that they came to see, which is 12 men battle it out. What's fairly remarkable for strongman, we often see a lot of injuries, so by the end of a competition, 12 competitors can easily become 9 competitors. All 12 have crossed the finish line, and they've done so in some style. We've run from Reykjavik over to Husavell, back to Reykjavik here. We're just outside the Viking Hotel, the Viking Village Hotel no less. And Killy, let's give you a congratulations, mate. Thank you very much for all of your help. Now, I mentioned to you off camera, you're an S&C coach. Yeah. Where can people find out more about the work that you do?
On Instagram, I guess.
And what's your Instagram handle?
It's Kelivhrs, Kelivhrs.
So spell Kelly, if you like, Kelivhrs. V-A-R-S. So there you go. Check this man out. A very, very strong man. And if there's any doubt about his strength, the belief is that the legend Thor, the god Thor, had red hair, a red beard. This man has a red beard, which means officially he is a strong man. And I've been given a signal, which I believe means we're going to be back in 2 minutes' time for the trophy ceremony to get underway and give these guys their just desserts. 12th place from Spain, Matthew Riddle. He came here on 24 hours notice. He decided he wanted to come and support the guys here because he loves strongman. It means an awful lot to him. He came here with his wife. He currently lives in Tenerife and he's called the Tenerife Viking, and there's no question of his Vikinghood based on the tattoos on his chest. In 11th place, we have the big man, Teddy Gudmundsson from Iceland. Has really, actually, one of his best performances was the bag throw, the very first event, the first of 9 events on day 1. And then we have, now 10th place isn't actually Shaun Gillen. He performed a little bit better than that, but another Icelander who gave a valiant performance, had a slight hamstring injury, was Tristan, who's come out here with his boyfriend Liam, and he's a very, very quiet man and very quietly determined in everything that he does. A really, really impressive competitor, and already we're seeing the diversity of physiology in strongman, followed by Shaun Gillen from Australia, who at one stage was actually challenging for first place overall alongside his fellow countryman Rango Keane. So Rango lives in Australia, as does Shaun Gillen. Shaun, Australia by way of Ireland, a brilliant performance, especially in the natural stones, and give absolutely everything. Now it's time for the man in 8th position. One of the nicest men you're likely to meet, Mika Toro, representing Finland, the biggest man in the field so far. A couple of absolute giants embracing each other there. Mika and Christian, Mika and Shaun Gillen there. And we have our final Icelander. He's a veteran of the sport, 26 years in the game. Has just an unbelievable life story, actually. And has been essentially the father to us here, making sure that everyone's on time when we get into the van and the minibus, and we have driven from Husavelt to here and here to Husavelt, and is very much a natural born alpha and leader. Great guy is Sigus, who Pa likes to call Seamus. So we've now got 12th, 11th, 10th, 9th, 8th, 7th, but in 6th place from Ireland, it is big Pavlo Dwyer, the joker of the pack, the shy retiring man, but he's also an incredibly good strongman. Very, very good in the deadlift. Actually got his first victory of this tournament today, and certainly the dogs behind us happen to agree as well. But Pa, a very dynamic athlete, a little bit lighter than we've seen him actually with a couple of years, and it's possibly serving him pretty well. You might see him entering Britain's Strongest Man in the new year. He's done a lot of competitions. Pavlo Dwyer was an Ireland's Strongest Man, came second there, actually to Shaun Gillen, who managed to better here today. Now we've had Pavlo Kordiak going there, Europe's Strongest Man, and we now have from Lithuania, Vilius Jakusis. And look at this here, proper camaraderie and community amongst all the men here. Now it's time for our first man on the podium. Vilius agonisingly close to that. It was just 1 point separating third and second, but he hails from England, Shane Flowers, the father of Ronnie, his 6-month-old son. He said he's never slept better in the last 6 months than he has done here, and he's performed unbelievably well, very, very consistently. I wonder when he looks back if there'll be any disappointments, because he really was one of the very few men who could have possibly won the title. It wasn't to be, but he did manage to get himself on the podium, and a brilliant third place. Shane's been given the nod as to where to stand, but the man in second was the 2022 Magnusson Strongman Classic winner, and the cheer actually didn't go to Rango, but it went to this little lad who's currently pressing a log overhead. That log might be about 1 foot long, but it doesn't matter. It gets a cheer from all the gents here. And Rango Keane, he's certainly sustained an injury after dominating in the front hold just over 24 hours ago. What a performance it's been from him. What a character. A man who just keeps getting stronger and stronger. Was in World's Strongest Man a few years ago, and since then he's just metamorphosized. Trains in 42-degree heat, and it doesn't affect him when he now competes in 1-degree heat. But our winner of the Magnusson Strongman Classic 2023 from Canada, Tristan. A brilliant, brilliant performance. Who I mentioned after day 1 was in the mix, after day 2 had smelt victory, and after day 3 managed to extend things in the end, winning by a comfortable 5 points, not even needing that 4th log. Absolute class, start to finish. New Zealand, Canada, England, supported by 9 men behind them. Lithuania, Ukraine, Ireland, Iceland, Finland, Australia, and Spain. The big question is, are we going to see a hacker? That is the big question. That's what everybody wants to know. Are we going to see a hacker? He's saying no. This is not like Rango. There he goes. There he goes. We're not sure if that means yes or no. But Rango, Rango. Oh, apparently there's a Canadian dance we might be getting to see here. It's looking like a no for the hacker, maybe a no for the Canada dance, but an absolute yes for the performance. And we'll see if we can grab a word with our brand new MvM Magnusson Strongman Classic champion, Tristan Hoth. Tristan, can we grab a word? It was a superb effort. We're going to get the photo first, I think. And we're getting the official photo here of all the men on what's been a brilliant 72 hours of competition. Not many places do you get to see 9 events over 3 days, all throughout Ireland, battling the elements, battling earthquakes. Go on, son. A future strongman in the making. He's a big, strong lad. A massive round of applause to all the gents here. Oh, let's grab a word with Tristan here.
Thank you.
Our MvM Magnusson Strongman Classic champion for 2023, Mr. Hoth. How are you feeling?
Absolutely amazing. Like over the moon right now. Yeah.
If I said to you on day 1, event 1, you would end not on the podium but on top of the podium, what would you have said?
I probably would have just scoffed. Said maybe like top half. So.
Is that really what you came in thinking?
Yeah. Honestly, I was expecting like middle of the pack, top 6. I'd be fucking ecstatic. So, like winning, I don't have words for it.
I mean, for you, what surprised you most about your performance? Was there any particular event, or was it your consistency? Because you were so consistent.
Yeah, I think just the consistency in events. I mean, most of the events I was top half of the pack and fighting for top spots in a couple other ones and won one event. So just consistent kind of everywhere.
In the log, we weren't sure, were you going to try and end in style, or were you just going to guarantee that 2nd and 3rd log? What was your thoughts going into that?
I knew I had to get 3 fast just to get my points and hold the line, and then went for the 4th one, but body wasn't there, so it wasn't worth it.
And Rango kept you honest, by the way. When he got that 4th log as fast as he did, you're now thinking, okay, so he needs the 3rd log, whereas before, up until that point, you almost didn't need to do much, and then it was then game on.
Yeah, no, I was watching a couple of guys get 4 logs and a couple others get 2, and I was like, I knew at that point, I was like 2 fast for sure, but a 3rd would kind of seal things.
And to have your now legacy as part of MvM Magnusson, there have not been many of these tournaments, to now say Hoth 2023, it's pretty cool.
That's awesome, and I mean, third annual one, and we've had 2 Canadian boys win it.
Great point.
Right? So yeah, Canada's bringing it back, eh?
Hey, exactly. Yeah. And just finally, is there anyone you want to thank possibly at home who couldn't be here today?
Yeah, my wife Anna, thanks for helping out. Larry, and keeping the gym running, and then everybody else in Canada for supporting.
And the final question is, will we see you again here next year?
Oh, definitely be back.
To defend the title?
Oh, of course, yeah, I'm coming back.
And finally, is it off to the Sky Lagoon next?
I think there's some soaking going to happen next, yeah.
And maybe some hydration as well. Obviously sparkling water.
Yeah.
Now, it would be wrong of us not to speak to Rango as well about this. Mate, massive congratulations. An incredible performance. We're going to bring big Rango in. Now, Rango, all the way to the end. That 4th log put the cat amongst the pigeons. What are your thoughts after what's been a tough 9 events? You were in the mix, you were leading at one stage, you backed off, you encroached on his lead, a lot happened.
It's been a 3-day competition, ups and downs across the whole field, man, and this is why the Magnus Classic is unique, because anything can happen. Every day is a new day, and I've said it from the start, this isn't a race, this is a marathon. We always knew that the 3rd day was going to be the champion's day, of whoever was ready to fight for that title was going to win. And that's what happened today. Tristan, absolutely consistent performance, and he's come away with the win. Me and Shaun and the rest of the field were fighting hard to catch him, and he was just consistent across the board. I was very lucky to get the log there at the end there, and that was just 100% heart and animal, and just leave it all out there, you know what I mean? And things didn't go, competitions never go to plan, but you've got to learn to adapt and move with it. And I'm just proud and happy as to be here to represent my family, my culture, but also to connect with all the people here behind the scenes. I just want to do a massive shout out to Magnus, Tony, Monica, all the team that everyone doesn't see behind the camera, of all the hard work, because guys, we're traveling Iceland doing these events. The team's up early hours in the vans. It's freaking snowing. You know what I mean? We're up in Husafra and we're all there standing in the snow. So I just want to do a massive shout out to everyone behind the scenes that don't get credit. We respect you, we love you, and thank you so much for making this happen.
Just finally, is anything you'd like us to know about your journey and who you are? Because we see this exuberant guy who entertains, but also behind the scenes, personally, you're a very spiritual man, you're a family man.
100%. It's for me, it's all about pride in who you are, pride in your family, but representing yourself and your people, and I want to be good out there on the platform and do my best, but behind the camera and behind the scenes is where it all matters for me, is connecting with people, sharing stories, and just leveling with people and understanding them. And for me, my legacy is just leaving a positive name and just connecting with people in order to inspire them, because I never had a good upbringing, I was never first to be chosen in anything. So my journey now is to help inspire the next generation, which is our younger generation. And we got kids here running around. We just had a young fella here lifting a log in front of us. That's what it's all about. If we as men can inspire the next generation, that's what it's all about, because our next generation need help. We need a lot more people to stand up and be leaders to help the next generation.
Well said, sir. Final question. What have you learned about Pavlo on this trip?
You cannot put me and Pi together. That's what we have to know. But it's what you guys want to see, apparently. But man, it's just the new faces that have been here at this competition, and I'm pretty sure in the years to come, I encourage each and every one of you watching, for all of you sitting there watching, whether it's on the couch or on your phone, wherever you are, I inspire you. Next year, get to a qualifier. If you want to do a competition like no other, if you want to cement your name in history, do a qualifier next year to get here. I'm telling you right now, you will not regret it.
Well said, Rango. Mate, it's been an absolute pleasure, sir. And we'll see you in the Sky Lagoon.
Let's go.
He's going to be there, and everyone's going to see him. Now, we do need to complete the set. Let's speak to Big Shane Flowers. 3rd place. Shane, 3rd place in the end, mate. I imagine slight mixed feelings, but overall, it's been a brilliant competition for you. And I've timed it perfectly, because just as he put something in his mouth, I said, Shane, let's have a chat.
Yeah, do you know what? I can't be disappointed. This is my 3rd podium in a row now. Before I ever became Ronnie's daddy, I was literally I never podiumed at a pro show before. So after Ronnie, I'm on a free preet now. So just going to try and keep that momentum going. There's lessons to be learned from this. As we said on day 1, this is my first international pro show, apart from Worlds. My first multi-day show, so it's been a huge learning curve. And if you want a competition to try and learn how to become more adaptable to kit, stuff like that, this is the one. So I think this is going to bode well for the future, especially for like Worlds next year and stuff. So it's been a huge experience.
2 questions. You mentioned your son Ronnie. Is there anyone you want to thank who's at home who couldn't be here?
A lot of people really, to be honest. My wife Rachel, obviously. Ronnie's probably too young to come out here at the moment, but hopefully one day he can come out here as well. My training partners, so my brother Mitch, my best mate Kane, mum, dad, all my sponsors. I've got a huge team, a huge network of people supporting me. So you only ever see me lifting the kit on the day, but there's a team of probably 24 people supporting me, so I'm always grateful. So this is for them as well, it's not just for me.
And potentially Kane will be here next year, who knows? And there are qualifiers as well if you are a strongman out there, whether it's in Canada or in Australia. There are a number of qualifiers for the MvM Strongman Classic. Final question, what has it been like being sandwiched between Rango and Paraguay?
Physically and emotionally exhausting. Luckily, I've only got about another 12 hours with them, and then I don't have to see them for another couple of months at least. Yeah, so, no, it's been really good. I get really nervous for competitions, all of us do. Even, Pavlo, who's an experienced, seasoned strongman, he's done over 200 shows, he's still being sick on the morning and stuff like that. So I get dead nervous as well, but they take the edge off because they just take your mind somewhere that you don't even know that it can go. But yeah, it's been awesome. I've really loved this experience, and hopefully I'll get invited again next year.
Shane, you've been absolutely awesome, mate. Congratulations.
Thank you,
and we'll see you in the Sky Lagoon.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, guys.
Sky Lagoon is the place that we're going to be headed to now. All that's left for us to do is to essentially take everything down and say a massive thank you to you for watching. Come on, Matt. This is the shy retiring geezer. Mate.
The wooden spoon winner.
Well, I tell you what, you weren't given the down signal and you managed to find a way to get it back
It's
up.
something you learn. You either learn or you lose.
Right.
I've never lost. I've only ever learned. And a 120 strict press twice, it's a lot harder than one alone. So.
And I heard a word that you said when he said, I didn't get a down signal. I think you said flipping heck. That was annoying.
Something like that.
Yeah,
Definitely. Yeah. It was more. I was annoyed with myself. Really, it was one of them. I think in a lesser comp, you lock it out, you put it down, and they give it to you. At this level, there's no mistakes, man. It's brutal, but it's good because it makes you think more. You have to think of so many different things, not just lifting your weight.
Right.
Have
you enjoyed it, mate?
Oh, it's been amazing. I've literally been like a golden ticket winner.
Mate, it's been awesome to have you here. It's been awesome speaking to you. We'll see you in the Sky Lagoon as well.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely. We're going to see this man very shortly. And as for us, it's time for the D-Rig to begin and to say thank you very much to each and every single one of you for watching what's been an incredible, unpredictable, outstanding Magnusson Strongman Classic. It's going to continue to get bigger and better. This is only the third one, and goodness knows where it will go to next year. But we do know that it will be here in Iceland, and we do know that it will be legendary. We'll see you again in 12 months' time. Thank you very much for watching.